It's 5 on your side at 6. Focused on you.
Tonight, walking and driving in our region is getting more dangerous. The number of hit and runs in St. Louis this year alone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Holden Kerwicki. Just hours ago, a man pleaded guilty in court to a hit and run, bringing even more urgency to the problem of addressing street safety. Senior investigative reporter Paula Vassan has more on the court hearing and new efforts to keep you safe. Paula.
Well, 17-year-old Matthew Nikolai died right here crossing the street over to Ted Drew's. Now, a couple years later, the driver behind the wheel has pleaded guilty to a hit and run.
27-year-old Jacob Adler pleaded guilty to leaving the scene of an accident and tampering with evidence. Court documents show Adler drove into a teen crossing the street, never reporting the accident to police. 2 days later, he took his truck to a body shop to repair the damage.
Slow down.
Nancy Cambria is with the East-West Gateway Council of Governments, a planning agency funded with local and federal dollars. And she's part of a team behind this new 150-page report that outlines ways to achieve a lofty goal: a 50% drop in crashes leading to death and serious injury within the next 2.5 decades.
It's not just towards roadways, but also policy changes, driver behavior changes.
The report addresses some of the biggest problems that lead to danger on Missouri roads: lack of seatbelt use and enforcement, impaired driving, and speeding. Cambria also stresses the need to focus on areas with the most crashes, like parts of West Florissant Avenue in the city and county.
There are more crashes. They increased after the pandemic. Pedestrian-related crashes particularly increased. There's a vulnerability out there.
St. Louis City Police tell the I-Team there have been 41 hit and runs so far this year. Cambria says with more awareness and vigilance, there are dangers that are completely avoidable.
And we can really save lives and make a big difference.
And we contacted the city to find out what they're doing to make this area safer. They tell us they're planning on widening sidewalks and adding more traffic signals. For the I-Team, Paula Vassan, 5 on your side.
A Metro East leader suddenly resigns after a year on the job and is facing some grave allegations. A top staff member at the East St. Louis Public Library is accused of embezzling money. Our Justina Cornell joins us in studio with the very latest. Justina.
And this staff member is accused of using thousands of dollars for personal use. Now, this person has not been formally charged. That's why we're not naming them, but we have learned more about the possible crime.
It's the city of champions.
For me, St. Louis is home. I'm born, bred, and fed.
Robert Eastern is a proud son of the city.
One of my greatest dreams and hopes is that the East St. Louis can once become that glory city that it used to be, that all-American city.
That dream faces a hurdle.
We're the city of champions, and this is not things that champions do.
As a former mayor, he said it hurts to see his city hit with another blow.
To hear these things, and it just takes the life out of you.
5 on your side learned this week a top staff member at the East St. Louis Public Library resigned.
It's going to make you look at East St. Louis again with a jaundiced eye.
Allegations claim a top staff member embezzled $89,000 from December 2023 to March this year. Now, this money is meant to be used for library purposes, and this staff member is accused of using this money for personal use. We're told the library board and the FBI are now investigating.
It makes you want to look at these things again and try to figure out where's the disconnect, what happened.
There's been a rash of embezzlement cases locally.
It's been a more common crime St. Louis University law professor Anders Walker has seen.
And if the feds are involved, they probably do have some concrete evidence.
Walker said this act could be damaging for the library and the community's trust.
Embezzlers have been responsible for driving businesses bankrupt and just depleting funds. So it could be very damaging.
Eastern said he continues to be a champion for his city and will continue to hold on to his dream.
I'm hopeful that, we can again, once pull ourselves up by the bootstraps once again, and say, hey, look, this is not who we are. It's not indicative of who East St. Louisans is.
Now, I reached out to the accused staff member, but haven't heard back. Now, within the last 2 hours, I've heard from 2 East St. Louis council members. Ryan Kaysen and Joanne Parks say they're disappointed by the troubling information and add we must strive for excellence in our service to the people of this city.
Thieves smashed their way into 3 South St. Louis restaurants. Police say they targeted Gotham or Got Ham and Eggs, Pokey and Mokabee's Coffee House on South Grand. Investigators say thieves stole money from Pokey 1 and Mokabee's Coffee House. 3 men then tried to steal a safe from Gotham and Eggs around 2:30 this morning, but it was bolted to the floor. That crime was caught on surveillance video. The owner of Gotham and Eggs says police arrested at least 1 person.
$650 million is heading this way to Lambert International Airport. The St. Louis City Board of Aldermen approved the bill, which would give the green light for airfield improvements. Now it's on the mayor's desk for final approval. Tracy Henson was in City Hall when the bill was voted through. Tracy, what improvements can we expect to see?
Well, of course, Holden, that $650 million is going to go towards part of making the terminal all one, so that single terminal project. And then, of course, some other things have to happen before then. Most of those projects a little on the boring side. So things like upgrading LED lighting, fixing and improving HVAC systems, repairing and replacing elevators and escalators in both terminals. The airport is also working on all new maintenance facilities and a new de-icing pad. All things that, according to St. Louis City Alderman President Megan Green, was supposed to start years ago.
The airport privatization efforts derailed the plans that we are putting in place today. And with that behind us, we are moving forward full steam ahead.
One of the big hoops to jump through, the airport already has their master plan approved from the FAA. That happened in 2023, but now, like all good things, it's not going to happen overnight. We still have a few years to wait before a shiny new terminal here at St. Louis Lambert. Tracy Henson, 5 on your side.
Let's take a live look at St. Charles Main Street from our sky cam. Some people walking around enjoying the Friday evening, a warm and sunny day. And there is some rain heading our way. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell is tracking those showers. Scott.
Yeah, there are some showers north of us for the most part. We've had a couple of spritzes and sprinkles here and there, but most of the shower action stayed to our north. So outside of a stray sprinkle this evening, everything is fine around St. Louis. But again, it's just that, stray sprinkles drifting in from the west. What we're focused on is this area farther to the west, northwest Missouri, back out into Kansas. Already some stronger thunderstorms and severe thunderstorms out there across parts of central Kansas. They're going to push towards the Kansas City area. That's a tornado watch that's in effect there. But as those storms push on to the east, they encounter air that's not as energetic around St. Louis. So later tonight, after midnight, especially after 2 a.m. and towards the morning hours tomorrow through about 9 or 10 o'clock, we'll have the chance for scattered showers and some thunderstorms. Locally heavy rain looks to be the biggest deal out of these thunderstorms. Maybe some gusty winds west of St. Louis, but not expecting widespread severe weather at all. We'll see in a few minutes talk about more storm chances and heat farther south. Ann.
Coming up, teen crime fighters get a crash course in police work, the program training the next generation of law officers.
Plus, one St. Louis landmark is celebrating another, the week-long tribute to the oldest bridge over the mighty Mississippi.